Good morning, students. How are you all? Hope you all are fine at home. Good students. Have you completed the old portion? Have you written down the question answers in your notebook and studied? Hope you might have done that one. Okay. So in this commerce, we have learned about the management, isn't it? What is management? And in short, what he does. So what is management we have learned, and to learn more about that term we have studied the concept, isn't it? That concept is 6 concepts we have learned. Now we will learn about the definitions. Some of the 2 definitions are given. Those both I have written down in the question answer. Okay. Then those who are able to study both the definitions you can learn. Okay. But sometimes they will ask by giving that person's name, one who defined that one. So when you learn the definition, you have to learn the name also, the person one who has defined that. Okay, the definitions of management. Here we know what is management. He is getting the work done from others and with others and through others, isn't it? That is the main. That means he is also doing a work, and at the same time he gets the work done from his subordinates. That means the lower level workers, the higher level workers. So in short we can say it is a process, isn't it? Continuously they will be working. That means he will be managing the workers and everything, isn't it? So he has some functions. So in the first definition written by Henry Fayol. Henry Fayol. He has defined management as it is to forecast. Management is to forecast. You know the meaning forecast. That means predicting the future, isn't it? Forecast. He has to plan what is their objective, what he has to do. For that he has to forecast. And to plan. He has to plan his decisions, his work, how he is going to do. That is first function itself is planning. Okay, that you will learn in the second lesson. What are the functions of management? Okay, there you will learn everything very clearly. So forecast is to, management is to forecast, then to plan, to organize. What is the meaning organizing? Here first he will plan, and with the workers he will plan how many workers I have, what are the work I have to given to each and every worker. That is called organizing. Okay, he will divide the whole work and each part of work. Okay, a unit of work will be allotted to a particular worker. Okay, that is called organize. So to organize, then to command. So how to get the work done from the lower level workers? He has to give some orders. The order we have learned, isn't it, in English also? Command or order. So he gives some orders to the workers how to do. Maybe the through a notice board, or through conducting meeting. Okay, or circular, sending circular. So he will command. Then to coordinate. Here organize we have learned, he will allot each work for each person. That work must be coordinated, united. Okay, he has to not to concentrating on one department. He has to concentrate all the departments available in the organization. So coordination also very important. And to control. Control you should understand different from command. Command means giving orders, but here control means what the work he is getting, isn't it? And he has to control. That means he has to evaluate how much work is done by each and every person. So if the work is below the standard that is fixed by him, then he has to inquire. He has to find out. Okay, the deviation. He has to rectify that deviation. So here now you might have understood. Okay, management is to, that you have to write. Okay, management is to forecast, okay, predicting, focusing on the future. Then planning, to plan. Then to organize, to command, to coordinate, and to control. So here the others, they criticize about that this definition is not more clear, because only the work of the manager is mentioned. It is not mentioning about the management. Okay, so other person has given another definition. That one, Peter Drucker. Peter F. Drucker. So what he explains, what he defines, management. Management is, I am writing in short, okay, here management is a multi-purpose organ, okay. Because here also we have learned, is it not only one work, many work is there. That is all. Management is a multi-purpose organ okay. Management is a multi-purpose organ that, so what are the multi-purpose? Okay, that manages a business. So three work he has given. Okay, manages a business. First he has to manage the business. Then manages a manager. He is managing a manager. And what he is managing? Manages worker and work. So it is easy. Okay, management is a multi-purpose organ. What are the multi-purposes? Okay, that manages a business. So first of all, the management, it is managing a business, and he has to manage a manager also, because the top level employees, those person also must be managed. Okay, that one. Then third organ is, it is managing all the workers. Okay, workers and the whole work. Okay, that is called the second definition. Here he is giving 3 points, isn't it? Drucker, he is stressing 3 points. 3 work: business, then managing a business, manager, and workers and work. Okay. So if a single part is omitted, so if we do not manage a business, just managing a manager and worker, no, it will not get fulfilled. It is not correct. Okay, that management work will not be fulfilled. So we have to say that this is all the 3 jobs must be fulfilled, must be done by a manager. Okay, if one is omitted also, it will not, the purpose will not be got fulfilled. Okay. Now we will see the second heading. Okay, management is an art or a science. Is a science or an art. Everybody is thinking, no, whether it is a science or an art, management. So we will learn. Okay, so first of all we will study about it as science. What we do in science? We will have some principle, isn't it? And that will be, or any thing that we can check, we can test in a laboratory, science laboratory. We will check and we can prove that principles are true, or we can say that principle is not correct. Okay, so that can be done in the science lab. So we can, that principles can be proved clearly, precisely. Okay, But here management is also having some principles. Okay, what are the principles? We can say the 4 M's. Okay, men, material. With these people only we work. Okay, material, money, and machines. These are the principles, but when we put all these principles together and when we work, we cannot exactly or precisely prove that principle is correct, because we know that the environment is continuously changing. Okay, changing, the environment is changing, because the people's fashion, design, their taste, preference, everything is changing. So in the changing environment, these principles cannot be clearly proved. Okay, because we work, the management is also working with some principles. Okay, that means the men, material, money and machines. With this one, when we work and we cannot correctly prove, or we cannot disprove exactly, because the environment is always changing. Even the policies, their that environmental calculation, everything may go wrong. Okay, because of the changing environment. So we can define, we can say, we can conclude that the management is not an exact science. Okay, so we can say it is an inexact science. Exact science, no, we cannot say inexact science. So we can say it is an inexact science. Now we will talk about the art. What is art? That means learning some, they learn something, isn't it? Some skill. They will, for example, dance. How to dance? They will learn the step, isn't it? So then they will perform, isn't it? First learning the skill and they will perform. Anywhere they can perform, isn't it? But what about the management? The management is also learning something, isn't it? They learn and they also perform. But here that environment is not at all changing, no? That art, wherever they go, they can perform it. But the management is also an art only, because they learn, but each person will be having their own skill. Okay, they are learning in the management degree, but a person going to perform management may be far better than any other person doing his activities. Okay, so the personal skill and their knowledge may be different from one person to another person. So one person may manage very efficiently than any other person. Okay, so that their level of work or their managerial skill, okay, it will vary from one person to another person. So we cannot say it is exactly an art. Okay, it is not an art in total, that we will say. Okay, not an art in total. Totally we cannot say it is an art. Okay, but it varies from one person to another person. So so what is the conclusion? For what we can say, whether it is an art or a science? So we can say it is neither a science. Okay, neither a science nor an art, but a combination of both. We can say it is science and it is art, both. Okay, but pure science we cannot say, and totally it is not an art. So it is a combination of both. Okay, so here we have to learn one more that term, the manager. Who is a manager? So it is very simple, isn't it? A manager is the person one who manages the work in the business. Who is a manager? That means he manages what all the work he is doing. Okay. There one definition is given. I have given that definition in the notes. Okay. So he is one who specializes in the work of planning. In the first definition we learned, isn't it? So planning, then organizing. To organize we studied, isn't it? So planning, organizing, then leading. That means command, leading and controlling. In the first definition, Henry Fayol, to plan, to organize, to command and to control. So what he is doing? Controlling. What he is doing this one? With controlling, what he is controlling? The efforts of others. That means he is planning, organizing the people, isn't it? So the effort of others. And he does so. He is doing like that. How? Through systematic use of knowledge. Through which thing he is doing? Systematic use of. As he wish, he cannot do. Okay, so it is through a systematic use of classified knowledge. He is having some knowledge. Okay, that is the classified knowledge. Why it is said as classified knowledge? Maybe managing the manufacturing organization will be different from that marketing manager, isn't it? Marketing manager, he is having a classified knowledge. At the same time, that production manager, he will be having another knowledge. Okay, so through this systematic use of classified knowledge, then what he should have? A common vocabulary. He has to talk to the people, isn't it? So to talk with the people whom with he is working, he has to have a language, that is a common vocabulary. Okay, common language and principles. With all principles only everyone is working. Okay, principles. And he who subscribes the standards. That means he has to have a clear knowledge about the standard of the organization and code of ethics. Standards of the organization. Okay, that to understand, but they have given that definition clearly there. Okay, so the organization or the recognized body, that is one, the organization where he is working. Okay, so they are the, if it is a manufacturing concern, all the manufacturing concern will have some standards. With that one only they have to work. Okay, so all those standards and ethics that must be followed by them, that must be kept in mind by the manager, and he should have a common vocabulary. What the person, the workers, they speak in Tamil, and if he goes and explain everything in English, whether they will be able to understand? No. So he should have a common vocabulary, and he should have the knowledge. Okay, if he is working with related to production, that knowledge he must have. Okay, that is system, that knowledge, with this one he has to use all this knowledge in a systematic way. Okay, first he has to explain how you have to do. He has to, that means he has to plan. Okay, that first it is coming. He has to plan in the beginning, then he has to organize. So how many people? 50 people in the organization. What are the work I will give, and whom I will be appointing as that coordinator to organize all the work. Okay, then he has to give some lead. He has to lead them. Okay, since a leader, he should know everything, isn't it? And he has to lead. You have to do like this. He has to lead, and at last he should perform, evaluate the performance. That is controlling. If anyone is lacking in some knowledge, he has to give some training for those people. Okay, so their efforts of others. Understood? Now all the efforts of others must be planned, coordinated, organized, and it must be commanded, then it must be controlled. Understood? The definition of manager. Here the meaning only they have asked. Okay. So now I will give you the question answer. Define the term management. Okay, define the term management. That is only two definitions given. Okay, students. Okay, you can write it down in a notebook. Okay, definition. First one, to manage is to forecast, to plan, to organize, to command, and to coordinate. Sorry, to command, to coordinate, and to control. Henry Fayol. The other one is management is a multi-purpose organ that manages a business, manages a manager, and manages worker and work. Peter Drucker has given that. Now again, this is also 3-mark question. That's why you have to write these two definitions. Okay, then the second 3-mark question is management an art or science. Here, first management is a science, that is heading up to right. Okay, management is an inexact science. This I have cut short into that few points. Okay, but there it is given very big paragraph. Okay. So second sentence, because in pure science the principles are put into test in a laboratory and they are either proved or disproved. But management principles cannot be exactly proved or disproved. So management can be described as an inexact science. Then management is an art. Here everyone believes that management is an art, but it is not an art in total. Totally it is not an art. Art means what? Learning of skills and practicing them. Okay. But management involves a set of required skills for any designated as a manager. He needs a set of required skill. Okay. For being appointed as a production manager, he must know what is production, what are the machines involved in that particular production, and how he has to work in that one. Okay, that is specialized skills necessary. But the level of managerial skill would vary from person to person. Now for the conclusion. So again you can write this sentence also again. So it is not an art in total. Then conclusion, management is neither a science nor an art, but a combination of both. Okay. Now, who is the manager? It is 2-mark question. Okay. If you find it very difficult to study everything, you can stop with this one also. Those who are not able to study fully, okay, you can stop here, or this much also easy. Okay, if you study this one, it will be fulfilled. A manager is one who specializes in the work of planning, organizing, leading and controlling the efforts of others, and does so through systematic use of classified knowledge, a common vocabulary and principles, and who subscribes to the standards of practice and code of ethics established by a recognized body. Okay, so for each organization, manufacturing concern, they will have some principles or code of ethics or their own principles given by the country. Okay, the law. Okay, as per the factory law, they have to abide by the law. Okay, that is what the recognized body just give. It is also one definition given by Louis A. Allen. Okay, we write fully as a definition. Who is the manager? Simply you can write without writing the name. Okay, students. So I think you will learn these 3 question answers. Okay. Then you have to note it down in the notebook. Note it down and learn. Okay, students. Hope you might have understood this one. Okay, be safe at home and learn these question answers and try to listen to this video 2 or 3 times. Thank you, students.